Hello, this is Lorna Rasmussen, and I'm live from the tropics. If you are challenged by selling or enrolling prospective clients, this is a do not miss part two of a two-part series to help you in overcoming objections. When we were talking about the objections and overcoming the objections, three of those objections are really easy: time, money, and talking to your spouse. But the other two, which are fear and shame and self-doubt, don't necessarily present themselves as such. In fact, the way they show up is I don't have time, I don't have money, I need to talk to my spouse. In other words, that's what the person is saying to you. So let's talk about that underlying experience, because that is critical to you understanding what's going on. And let me share with you why it's so important that when you are working with people and you're presenting to people, that you're listening for clues in that you need to do one of two things: build more trust so that they really talk to you about what's really holding them back from the decision. And the second thing is trust you enough that they will go deeper into themselves. But here's the number one thing: you need to have done that work on yourself. In other words, if you would not step out and buy things, buy coaching, buy products and services, if you're constantly questioning yourself and you're experiencing shame and doubt and self-doubt, until you get over that, until you deal with it, and it's about shedding light on it, really recognizing it, until that happens, then it's really pretty much impossible for you to do a good job selling and enrolling people in what you're trying to do. So that's a subject that's very large, and we're not going to attack it right now. But what I really want to do is I want to talk about how you can approach people and develop rapport with them such that you can start to dig down into that. So we're going to assume that you've gotten over it yourself. The number one thing when somebody raises those questions: time, no money, no, and need to talk to a spouse, what is important in that moment is for you to take off your sales hat, if you ever put it on, and go into your relationship hat. Really to think about, what would I say to this person if they were a good friend of mine? How would I talk to this person? How would I really come to understand what they're saying? Too many people assume they understand. They think that they know what that person is saying. And I want you to go in like Columbo and just be really, Columbo, the guy with the raincoat, and he'd go to the door, he'd take the no, go to the door, and as he was turning the handle, he'd turn back and he'd ask the question that released all the information, that really got to the heart of the matter. So let's say somebody says, I don't have money. I don't have the money for this. Instead of saying, right, I understand, because we've all been there, right? We all are in situations where we haven't had money, or we don't have money right then. So we're empathizing with that person. That's not what you want to do in this situation. You do not want to be empathizing. You want to be understanding. And so what you would say to that person is, first of all, just repeat it. You don't have the money. Is that right now, or can you get the money in the next couple of weeks? No, I really don't have the money. I literally have, this has happened, I got this bill, I've got that bill. Well, tell me, if you did have the money, would there be any other reason why you wouldn't go ahead with me? So now what you're doing is you're getting beyond that superficial, off the top of my head objection, and you're going deeper and finding out, well, what exactly is stopping this person? And now they'll tell you. They'll either tell you, no, there is no, it's just the money, or they'll tell you, well, this, and this. I don't know whether it will work for me. I'm not sure it's the right thing for me to be doing right now. So as you go deeper into their objection, you can now start really answering their objection. But let's say it is the money. They say, no, I'd go ahead with you if I had the money. Well, now we're in a problem solving process of figuring out how to get the money. Well, how much, would it take for you to set aside, $10 a week? Could we do that in the next, whatever the price of the program? So you brainstorm with them to help them see how to get the money. But something really important to remember in this situation is the reason they don't have the money is very likely the reason why they should be working with you, right? Unless it's like a temporary thing, in which case we can just put it off for a couple of months. It is oftentimes that the objection is the reason why they should move ahead with you. So they're making an objection, but in fact, they're telling you, this is the problem I have, and I want you to solve that problem for me. That is what we're doing in sales. If you've ever felt badly about being in sales, or you question whether you should be in sales, stop thinking of yourself as a salesperson and start thinking of yourself in exactly the role you're in, which is problem solver. I hope you found that video very helpful. And if you did, please comment below. And along with that, while you're there, subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos.